Okay, I'm on to something really killer right now. As you can see, this vessel's really nicely extruded, beautiful forms and lines. I want to show you how math really makes that just perfect. I don't know if the hand of the artist can mimic it exactly, except through some digital means or some mathematical formulas. Just fantastic to play with. I'll show you what I've done here. A bunch of different colors, whatever. I got a little E map on it. I'll take that off for now. And I'll take it out of rotation. We'll also bury the object in visibility. And there is our form, so beautifully made, and what a lovely curve. I want to show you how I've done that. Really like the script. So basically, before we go into it too much, I wanted to look into arithmetic mean, blurred numbers, and then I wanted to get into interpolate and all these other things. I'll go there in time. We'll finish these other four. Really, just playing with blurred numbers is just amazing. So what I've done is I've generated a series. This is just to show how the nodes work. So we'll just go here to start, and I'll show the other ones later. But basically, you have a series of numbers. You merge them all together, and it'll find the arithmetic mean, which is right in the middle. And then blurred numbers is a fantastic thing that you can set your lock to true, you can set your wrap to false, or you can make that true, doesn't matter. It changes your data, it allows you to play with it and fold it around by strength and iterations. That's enough said for that. So let's go into the script. Fantastic script. So here it is. I believe just choosing the points. I'll have to choose this. Let's put it back into shaded so we can see what's going on. And just see what we're looking at. So what I did was I brought in a range. I put an arithmetic mean plus because I wanted to raise it in the y direction. So I moved it out in the y-axis. There it is, sliding out by whatever I choose to do it. The blurred numbers are a generation of range, which begin with very simple 0 through 32. There it is, and I can play with that range, and I can play with those steps. Then I change the strength around, and you can see what you end up doing to this line. As you transform this line, you've definitely had this ability, and it gets very interesting in here when you start to wrap. If I turn the lock on, then it's not going to do anything, so I want to set that to false. But if I do the false, do the wrap, and then do it to true, you can really start to get some funk. So I don't know if you're seeing what's happening there, but if I put it back on the form, it definitely has had some major effects on this pot. Just that one little tiny thing from there to actually wanting to make a different vessel, and then go in here and play with this, slide it around. You can see some negatives, you can see some problems that it's actually blasted holes in it, which is like having a, definitely a problem with the script because you've gone too big and you've made the walls too thin for the extrusion, so you'd have to change that. This is really just the scale. So as we can play with that, you can see there are impurities, there are things that are going wrong. You get some strange designs as you go. All you have to do is pop that back into wrapping, take the wrap off, and see what you have. Well, let's just leave it in that situation because I really have fallen in love with this curve. And as I move that curve here by iterations, I can change that. You can see I can lose the hollow negative space a bit, but I have a really nice subtle use of grabbing some different forms there. So I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to step it up a bit, maybe to 100 steps. And then have that alter real subtle little modeling details to make for a beautiful vessel. And I don't need to go too big. I'm playing with that too much. You can see how thin the walls end up going. So what I've done is play with the blurred numbers, and I've looked at them. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And interpolating that curve as we go through. So it's a very simple, subtle curve right now. There's not too much excitement going on there. So let's try and get it back up to where it actually had a little bit of funk. There's a nice angle. I don't want to turn it back on itself, but let's try that one. And there it is. Nice little vessel that we had with this little lippy. I like that lip. And then I've grabbed a zero. I've grabbed a vector so I could revolve it. Obviously, yeah, you take your curve. You're going to do a revolve. And in doing that revolve, I then put a surface on the bottom. I was thinking of using that, and I ended up not using it at all. So all of this in the script is unnecessary from here to here. So I could take out all of this stuff, even though I thought I might need to thicken the base. So I've left that there in case I have to extrude and thicken it. So I put it into a surface edit, and I divided my points, and I can do that by however much I want. And I can move them out in any amount of level for thickness. So you have to play with that if your script goes bust and you want to remake your surface for points. Very nice, simple thing to do. And what I did was I counted a brep and found this inside space I didn't end up using this data, even though I thought I might use it to loft, and I thought I might use this to loft. Instead, all I did was go right back to the geometries, that surface and that surface. I like to have a lot of extra things in here, bring it into a breadth top and bottom, and do a solid difference. That's it. And you're done. So you've got a pretty cool thing that if I had to go thicker, I'd have to go back into here, and I believe that amplitude will make it thicker, and that might allow me to go back into the earlier part of the script and play with these numbers just slightly and see if the strength doesn't affect that a little more. Kind of a potty, a latrine, but I just love this in the sense of blurring data as the main reason to actually to make this happen differently. And you can amplify and change things in the Z. I mean, it wouldn't take much to throw on a multiplier expression. It's going on my double screen. I'm not sure what will happen here. Let's just start with a pretty basic x times 2 and see what happens. And there we go. We've lofted the pot up a little higher. Really nice, simple script. Nothing too different, but you understand the geometry of it. You understand what's happening, and you really end up making some pretty cool stuff. So there's the colors, there's the range. I can pull it in. I've baked a couple. I can pull back out my baked form. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my interpolated data. I'm going to go into my smooth numbers data. And imagine if I was using those things instead of blurred data. As we start to truncate this and use weighted averages, we're going to come up with some really nice ways of subtly throwing another vessel. Now, it doesn't have to be a vessel. It could be a tire. It could be a product. It could be a sculpture. It could be a skull. It could be anything you want to dream it to be. So this is a longer video, holding at 6.5 minutes. Really nice. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to save it, and even as this version, and we'll keep going through this and playing with it. But it doesn't take much to add scripts together and color them up. That said, let's could take it into a bake for another one, but we don't have to. Let's see if I have the nice color there, and I can play with that a little bit. I always have this crazy color shader going because I just like to play with it. Not too subtle, nice earthy, dark, earthy color. Maybe with a bit of green. Anyway, get a nice little object. If you really like that shape, take it into a bake and appreciate the smoothness of what you've made. And that's nice. And throw it into a little zebra. See how the continuity is going. See if you like it. Zebra, and there we go. And there it is. I'll probably have to just leave this tool because I want to see it. There we go. And there it is. Let's get a nice little pattern on it. And I think I have it set so small, thinnest, which is kind of ridiculous. We'll do thicker. There, kind of see it. And I change the colors to something else that I can actually tolerate seeing. There we go. Take it to a green to red, whatever. It's whatever it is. Get to analyze your form, see what you have going on, and you can always take those colors off. You don't have to use those. Oh, there's a little 4th of July. All right, we'll leave that. Welcome to Independence Day. Hilarious. All right. Thanks very much for watching.